But you can see the planetary consciousness, not only everything in the entire universe is in the mesocosm, macrocosm, but just the planetary consciousness. You can see everything unfold as fast or as slow as you want. It's like it's a DVD player, like you have the control. You can rewind, pause, go forward fast, but you are in the scene. And I can just say it takes a lot of concentration to pause it, or to slow it down, or to rewind it. And you can see something that happened maybe a million years of time in seconds. You can just see it fast. So as an observer, you're in the scene, you're watching it, you're moving around the scene as if it was three-dimensionally. But it's really happened in the seventh dimension. And the only way to control it is through concentration and will.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. I'm not, no, believe me, I'm just barely, but I'm not like a master like Daskos, but I have done it and I have rewound it, and it's very difficult. And it's, for me, and I think it has to do with me, it's always moving too fast. So I have to really get concentrated and slow down everything to see it in real time.
Is it harder the farther back in time you go, or?
I don't think it's harder, but I think it's harder to, it's certainly harder to understand when that occurred, because there's no pages of a calendar flipping by, you're just seeing events. But seeing something that happened 3 years ago or 3 centuries ago, we've not gone back in time. We can't change an iota of what's been recorded. We are just receiving impressions. And the future, of course, you can't go forward in the future because it hasn't happened. But this ability to access these divine archives, it's only able when you become a master of time. And, you know, touching on it like I'm talking about is, I'm not the master of it by any means, but I have touched on it. And if you saw a scene from your past life, what are you really seeing? Well, it's like we talked about it. It's a living elemental. It's not really us, because we're now new in a different thing. We're seeing an elemental of ourselves from that lifetime. Flawless, recorded in every detail.
When you can master this, then it is actually possible that you can visit your past not incarnations, but those elementals.
The elementals recorded in the cosmic consciousness of the incarnation. You can see the whole incarnation. You can talk to that elemental, shake hands with it, if you will. And you can ask it questions, but it can only tell you what it knew in that lifetime.
Probably you will realize that you don't even like that guy, maybe.
Yeah, you may feel ashamed. Yeah. Right. You could feel ashamed.
Back to Laura's question, that's why we are doing exercise. You know, it moves so fast, but when we practice to concentrate using our willpower, we can change that speed, and this power of concentration can change the speed of moving and focus on the one which we would like to understand, and immediately we can understand that. Do you understand?
So I could see like continental shifts within seconds, like how the continents and everything shaped, that I could see that from an above perspective within just a few seconds?
Yes, but we can see whole things, for example, but when we use our willpower and concentrate on what we gather the light, to concentrate on what we would like to know, then the movement stops and then opens, the information comes. We can understand it immediately.
Let's take it another step further. Of course, we can see that elemental of our past life. Can we enter it and relive that thing? Yes. But would you want to? It's like finding an old pair of worn out shoes that are too small for you. You would not want to go in it, because now you're comparing it with the consciousness you have today.
But Daniel, you can go into that space and get those emotions and those feelings and then analyze them and release them. And then the elemental is then released, is it not?
No. It's a recording. Just like if I record you right
no, but
now.
that emotion that you brought in from that.
That elemental is what it is. It's got all the whole
You cannot
set.
even de-energize them, or
You can't. No, it's there. It's recorded. You can't change a thing with it.
Okay.
And what if you see something really bad you did in your past lifetime? Like, oh wow, a lifetime I was a murderer.
Yes.
Does that cause you pain? What do you think?
Oh, I would think so.
Absolutely not.
No?
Why?
Because you're beyond it?
Because you can't see this stuff until you've gone past those kind of things.
So is it judgment then when you say, oh my God, that asshole killed somebody, and then,
Well, it would be, but you would never reach to be able to see that with that kind of attitude. You see things so much different.
okay, now I get that.
Because we've been seeing it, we're free from the vices we had then, so we don't feel like it's really us, because we've been freed by that time.
That's why we see certain aspects and not the other aspects, okay?
That's why we can see the little things, because we're not going to be allowed to see anything that's going to really harm us until it won't.
That's
Until it
why
won't.
we do introspection exercise, daily, small, ugly matters, overview, from the viewpoint of the neutral beyond the duality. Then it's gonna be the big practice to get the access to the Akashic record eventually.
Yeah, Jeff?
So if you can do the records, can you solve unsolved mysteries? And
They can, for sure. I mean, I can't, but people who are masters of it can, sure, sure.
Like, what do you mean, like finding out secrets, like how the pyramids were built or something like that?
Who shot JFK?
Oh,
Who killed Akhenaten, that's known.
So
That stuff is
somebody
known.
knows.
Yeah, it's known. Yeah, it
So
is.
can I ask another question? Because from where my level of development is, I'm trying not to go with this, but there's curiosity that is a drive to understand, like, who was I? And that's probably egotism there. But when eventually that egotism is dissolved, what would the motive be to look back?
Good point.
Like, what kind of, is it a purified curiosity that you then have, or is it you only do it on a need-to-know basis because it's going to be something useful to know?
I think when you have the mastery for you to look back, it'd be the same as you going to bed at night and introspecting on that day. You can expect in all your incarnations, see the developing personality. Can you imagine what a great introspection that would be? Be the ultimate introspection.
But I thought in terms of the Ashkenazi record, you can only see your stuff. You can't see, like you wouldn't know who killed JFK because you
No, you could.
could.
Because you get to that level, you're not interfering or anything, you're just reading and recording.
Okay.
Now, yes?
Well, what if I'm born with something that I had in a past life?
We don't ever look back. Daskos could look back, but he doesn't want us to look back. You don't look back because that pulls you to the past and also just keeps you tied to it. The idea is we're here now, we move forward, and whatever you did in the past life that's affecting you now, it's on the surface of your subconsciousness now. That's why it's affecting you in this life. If it wasn't affecting you, it wouldn't be. I mean, if it wasn't still with you now. So what we do is we research on those effects that are happening in the now. We don't go looking into the past life. We look at how it's affecting us now and how to release it now. We only have the now. The past is a memory. The future hasn't come. So we can only do things in the now.
the ever expanding.
You what? What?
I just got it.
Oh,
I understood.
So
okay.
as far as time, it's not linear, right? It's
To reach this state, you're touching on the eternal now. So
yeah,
it's
but
beyond
I
time.
mean-
There is no time in that regard.
Right. That's the thing. So that's what physicists are talking about. There is no time in reality.
Yeah, everything's happening now, eternal now.
And it's an ultimate observation state. We can observe everything without being influenced by any lower vibrating matters.
I'll just leave it with this. I knew this Swami who came from India to America, and I visited him a few times and got to know him a little bit. And he told this story. He had this really great master who you never heard of. He was in a cave. Nobody knew about him. And the Swami was in America, and he had all these people, friends came around. They started building him big ashrams and helping him and supporting him and everything. And one day he thought, I'd really like to see my past life. He couldn't do it. He wasn't there yet. So he prayed to his master, please show me my past life, one night before he went to sleep. Next day he got up and he walked out, and all the people that loved him, he said he could feel all the animosity from them from the past life. And it just freaked him out. I mean, it freaked him out so much that he prayed to his master, take it away, I don't want to see it. Now you see, he didn't have the ability to get to it himself, so it bothered him. His master took him and showed him, and when he saw it, it hurt. But his master could get there, and so it was nothing to his master. So we have to reach that level before it won't hurt us. Otherwise, if we see it, it could harm us. And this is, this was the other question. Is we not only learn anything about our life, but anybody else's past life as well. And this is what Christ meant when he said, nothing that is secret will not be revealed. Nor anything hidden that will not be known and come to light. Because at this level, everything is known. Immediately, you don't even have to get to that level. The psychical plane, as soon as you pass over, if you meet somebody, you know what they're thinking, you know what they're about. And you probably have noticed this in dreams, where you're dreaming, you're on the psychical plane, and your psychical shell, and somebody comes forward to you, and you know what's going to happen next. Have you ever had that one? You know what they're going to say, or they know what's going to play out. That's because everything is revealed. Okay, good.